complete end-to-end solution for any university or board. It's a complete package, and it has been built with utmost flexibility so that any university or any new requirement can be easily adapted into the system. So it has already been adopted by one of the boards. It is the second largest board in India, which conducts the ICSE and ISE examinations. It has already adopted it and is actually going successfully implementing it for the last 3 years. So as you can see in the slide, these are some of the core modules that form part of the Careers application. There are over 50 modules and sub-modules built into the Careers application. If I start to name them, the time frame will not be enough. So you name it, we have it. Any module, anything, and anything additional we can build into it. That is the flexibility we have given to the application. So for want of time, I'll quickly go through the key modules which are there in the Careers system. Okay, starting with the affiliation system. So affiliation is the first process. A college getting affiliated to a university. The traditional approach used to be paper. There will be bundles, piles and piles of papers, applications piling up. There was no mechanism for tracking these. So what we have introduced is a complete online system where the requests can be posted online, payments made online, affiliation forms, customized application forms are created based on colleges, universities, which can then be entered by the requesting entity. They can make the payments online, and the inspector scheduling, the inspection management, the inspection report upload, everything is handled online. So actually we have been successful in making the entire affiliation process paper free. So actually what we have done is from the usually in the traditional approach it used to take over 6 months to complete the affiliation process, and it was not transparent in the sense that there was no visibility of what my affiliation request or what is the status of the affiliation request. We have tried to make it transparent and faster. Now with our implementation we take less than a month to actually process an affiliation request. Moving on to the next, candidate registration system. This is the next, where the candidate registers into the system. Again, the registration process is completely online. All the details, including his photo, signature, everything gets captured into the system, and a unique ID is allocated to him. All of you are aware of the Aadhaar system. Kind of, it is like the Aadhaar ID for the candidate. Throughout the application, this unique ID gets seamlessly integrated into all the modules. So any data that you need to track for the candidate can be tracked using a single ID. Again, this has online payment modules which are parallelly integrated into it, which is again a separate module. Now let's move on to the big one, examination management system. It's the most critical functionality of any university and board. Examination management system is a very large module comprising of a lot of functioning. Some of them I have listed here. Exam center allocation, so basically identifying the exam centers where the candidates will write the examinations. From there, allocating a convener, supervisor, accepting nominations from the colleges for these staffs. Then we have a timetable management. Timetable management basically will be a preparation of the examination timetable. It will be intuitive with minimal intervention required from the user. You have to provide certain inputs which are required, certain criteria that needs to be considered, but the system is intuitive enough to prepare the examination timetable on its own. You can manually intervene and then make corrections according to your need and finalize them. Then we have the evaluation process. In the evaluation process, we have come up with an innovation called as OLICR, Orion Live in Character Recognition. It has actually won an award in elets 2014 for E-India Innovation Award. We'll come back to it later. Then we have the result publication system. So the results which are coming from the evaluation center is digitally transferred live to the central server. So as the evaluation progresses, the marks are available with the university for processing. So the marks are coming, the validations are happening, everything happens on the fly. Okay, so as part of this examination system, we have some of the innovations which we need to showcase. There is a bundle management system, which is a combination of a hardware and software. We have built a machine where what bundle management intends to do is basically tell you where to allocate the answer scripts or where to store the answer scripts which are coming from the exam centers or evaluation centers. So when the answer bundles come, how it has to be stored, how it has to be stacked. We visited a lot of universities and boards where we saw it was not arranged in a proper manner. So when recheck, re-evaluation comes, it was a Herculean task to find a script and take it. So we innovated a machine which will automatically scan, a barcoded sticker will be there which will automatically scan the exam center from which this answer bundle is coming, and it will allocate or it will tell you which space it has to be put into. It knows, so where does it get the input from? Again, you have similar programs built into it called space allocation program, which allows you to segregate the spaces. You can segregate the space that is allotted to you based on subjects, based on programs, based on evaluators, based on, you can think of the segregation, you can think of any way to segregate these spaces. Again, there is an apportionment program, which is basically you are telling the, you are assigning that answer scripts coming from this exam center needs to go to a certain evaluator. So you are mapping it. There are a lot of complex logic involved in it, including that same zone it should not go to, it should go to a different zone. These kind of complex business logic is involved. We have automated the entire thing, and on the click of a button, the entire apportionment, that is answer scripts to the evaluator mapping, is happening on the click of a button. So the entire logic has been automated. And there is even provision to manually intervene. The universities can manually intervene and correct them if deemed necessary. Okay, so the traditional approach used to take, you can see the benefits. We are able to do it in one day. And it doesn't require a skilled labor to actually move and arrange these packets. It is automatically told to him that go to this location, put it in this place. The system automatically tells you as soon as the answer scripts. So it's an automated process, so it happens instantaneously. Again, the evaluation process. So I talked to you about the Orion live character recognition module. So OLICR was made to make the evaluation process much more simpler and much more faster and help you to track it live. So the traditional evaluation approach, you can see the evaluation centers, the evaluation happens, the marks are then, or the sheets are then sent to the head office, where it is again consolidated. So when you have to know the actual results, you have to wait till the end of the evaluations. But what we have done is we have done an instant digitization with a caveat. You have heard of systems where you have to scan these sheets, and there is a lengthy process of scanning the sheets and making them ready for the evaluators, and evaluators have to spend time before the computers to evaluate it. But what we have done is we have taken the traditional approach itself and added technology to it. So you are, the evaluator is still using the pen and paper. He is writing on the pen and paper using a special pen and tab provided by us. So on the instance, when he has evaluated and when he ticks, the entire mark is captured and digitized on the fly. There is no scanning, nothing. The evaluator just needs to put a tick on a paper, and the entire mark which he has written gets digitized onto the tab. He can view it on the tab. He can just press submit and the marks get totaled. And even rubrics application is done in this. So you can see in the instance the evaluator submits, the entire marks get transferred to the central server and the university can track this live evaluation, so they can see them coming. And the supplementary result processing system, it actually takes care of the validation of the marks. It sees whether the mark is coming from the right student ID, whether the subject code which has been written is correct, whether he is opted for the program, whether he is belonging to this school. All these validations happen on the fly. So once the data reaches the university, it is, you know that it has been sanitized. The data is perfect. Then comes the verification and inquiry system. So once the evaluations are completed and he becomes an alumni, we have a public-facing site which we have provided, which is the verification and inquiry system. The verification and inquiry system provides 3 services, basically for verification of marks of passed out students. Then they can ask for corrections in their particulars. They can even go to request for duplicate certificates. These are the 3 services provided in the verification and inquiry system. So as part of this, with the council which is conducting the ICSE and ISE examination, we have done extensive digitization of their old records, even dating back to 1953. So we are generating certificates which were of candidates who passed out in those years in the format which was given on those years. So we have done extensive data digitization on this. So the benefits, you can it's for you to see. Everything is online, paperless. It has online payment modules. It has online audit trails. The entire history of whatever you are doing on the system is available to you for tracking. So it makes the system completely transparent. The colleges who use it, the universities who use it, any other personnel, it is available live. Now why Orion? Why Orion? Is because we have been in this domain for over 5 years now. And we know the industry, we know the domain. We can provide, with the use of this application, we can provide the university the edge to perform better. Usually it is seen that the universities get held up in the day-to-day operations so much that they get a little time to focus on the actual issues of like curriculum improvements, things like that. So we are actually easing the effort of managing the day-to-day operations by automating it as much as possible, so that you gentlemen can actually look into the actual issues which are pertaining to the student upgradation, things like that. Our core capabilities are there in mobility, data analytics. We are using the latest in technologies of Microsoft, cloud, you name it, we have this solution. So let's work together to build a better education system. Thank you.
We'll keep a question and answer session also for a short time, so please keep your questions ready for Mr.